John was the single most authentic person I think I've ever met in my life.
There's a lot of good guys out there that passed away, I know that, but John was our guy.
John was the best of us. John was the best of America.
He lived his life like that and he died like that. And I haven't thought about that since October 3rd, 2005.
The toughest memory that I have about John is that I was speaking to him up until his death.
I gave the order to send that platoon up there.
And he raised his hand and jumped onto a team that wasn't his because another guy had hurt his back. And so he was riding in a Humvee that he wasn't even supposed to be in.
I knew it was dangerous, but Marines were getting wounded, they were hitting IEDs, and if I could get my sniper platoon up there on that high ground, as the insurgents fell back, they could shoot them, pick them off, kill them as they crossed the streets.
Next thing you know, I turn around to reach into my bag, and the blast from the mine that they ran over just rattled me, and the wind blew my hair.
We just had that feeling that it was one of our vehicles that got hit, you know. I didn't know who, but you knew it was one of your brothers.
And as I turned around to look back to see what had happened, it was their Humvee, still midair, coming down on its side. And my first words were, "It better not be John." I mean, I was literally yelling this.
I remember seeing the helicopter come, and I remember his initials coming across the radio.
And I knew that was Stalvey's, you know, and it crushed me, absolutely crushed me.
I give the orders that these Marines execute, and some of them don't come home. That there's weighs on me too.
But I knew we still had a job to do, and I know, you know, that's what he would want, but I was never the same after that.
There's a thing with the passing of time. You really do start to forget about some memories, but you don't want to forget them. But the reality is the memories do fade.
You never get over it, but you come to peace by getting together. We all were out there, we all were in it.
If one thing I've learned, it's, you know, dealing with trauma, you gotta deal with it at some point.
It's been almost 20 years since we lost John. And as I see all of these guys, they've lived a lot of life since I've seen most of them. Like whole lives. Gotten married, had kids, jobs. And it's so good to catch up with them. With John, I just remember him as a 22-year-old. And it makes me sad that I don't get to see or hear those stories from him. And it's like he's frozen in time, and that's what we know of him.
You know, you have to talk about it. And I haven't with John. And I'm not sure why. So that's what this trip did. It was tough, it was necessary, it was cathartic. It was very humorous.
That I'm out here with guys that were corporals and sergeants and lieutenants. I mean, I'm just one of the boys with them. And that helps me with the losses.
I think why coming and doing a trip like this, where I'll be forced to try and remember things about him, good times with him, I wanted to hear some stories about John that maybe I'd forgot. And I'll hear it from one of my brothers here, and everything comes back.
So maybe I came here not knowing what to expect. Maybe I was the one that came here that needed some healing. That's kind of how I look at it. That's what it did for me.